Well, good morning. Another beautiful day on the Camino de Santiago. It was my last day yesterday, so today is a beautiful day getting back from the Camino de Santiago. And it is a job to get back. It's going to take me 3 days, actually. Now there are direct flights, but they're like $3,500. so not going to do that. There are other flights that you get into an airport at midnight, and the next plane is at 8 a.m. So I didn't want to do that. So gonna break it up. So today I'm going back to Santiago by a bus, and I'll just show you how to do that. Nigel is going up to Murcia, and he's going to walk back to Santiago, then walk back on the Frances to a point where it cuts away back to his house in France. That's about 2 more months for him. I couldn't do it. I am totally done, ready to go home. So at 9:45 the bus will come, and then it's like a 2-hour trip where I'll spend the day in Santiago waiting for the plane tomorrow. You know, you could cut it closer, but man, I feel better when I'm close to the airport with a ticket, because around here you don't know. It's going to be a lot of just waiting. So let's go wander back to America. Just another beautiful day in Finisterre. Just brilliant blue skies. Man, let me tell you, this has been a backpacker intense area. It's probably maybe the most crowded I've seen. Well, let me tell you, it is a mob scene here at the bus. You know, it runs 4 times a day, and the bus is huge. So the bus station is just right by the roundabout in the middle of town. So you want to be standing at the bus stop 45 minutes before the bus is supposed to leave, because it takes 45 minutes. It's like a jet plane. It takes a long time to load it up. So that's the beach we walked in on. So then you leave the bus terminal and go to another bus that's outside on the street to go to the airport. So, at the airport. So I'm not leaving today. I'm staying at a hotel that's about 1K walk from here. I trust that better than trying to leave it till tomorrow and find out, oh, whoops, we can't get there on time. Leaving the airport. And look at this, Camino de Santiago. Really? It's this way? I think so. So oddly enough, when I look at the GPS, it does go right back to the Camino. There's a small town called San Payo, which there's a really nice walkway to it from the airport. Well, I never thought I'd be walking on a dirt road by the airport. That's for sure. Going to my basically bed and breakfast. but it's about 2K from the ticket counter. So I trust my feet. I don't trust the bus not to break down when you're miles and miles away, or the taxi to show up. I trust my feet. It's kind of a bad thing to, you know, miss the plane out of here. So I'm going to spend the night here and come back in the morning. Yeah, there's backpackers. Yeah. Right. I remember walking by this and going, that's nice that it's 4 feet from the Camino. So Bart, back on the Camino. I never expected that. So I'm gonna stay at the last 12K. Let's go see it. So my last breakfast in Spain. Okay, so leaving the fabulous last 1200 albergue. Really nice place. It is not the cheapest place in town. Really good bar, really good food there. Great breakfast like you saw. So I'm gonna walk back to the airport and hang out for 5 hours. It's gonna be a long couple days. Okay, so this is where I actually do leave the Camino at 12:390. This way goes back to the airport. Oddly enough, this is the way back to the airport. So the weather for the past week has just been fantastic. And it's not been cold, it's not been hot. Beautiful blue skies. Really fortunate. Endless buses. Everybody got a bus. I have done a lot of work to make sure that people have direct access from the airport to the Camino. Well, here's my home for the next 5 hours. Gonna get comfortable. An alien with a Michael Jackson glove. Don't know why. The escalator here doesn't move until it sees you coming, which is kind of, that's a good idea. This is up in the check-in area. And they've got a really cool model of the Compostela. I'll show you. I mean, how long did it take to build this model? Amazing. And even up to the little statues. There, of course, is Saint Jacques. Unfortunately, you can't walk through the doors anymore. There's a big gate there. Some of the other places near it, around it. I mean, who knew people could build something like this? I'm sure when people from the countryside came here for the first time, it was like they couldn't believe it was just even possible to build things like this. So there are tours, if you want, where you can walk on the roof. It's not free. I think it's like $10 or something for pilgrims. If you're staying there a couple days, yeah, you might be able to get that done. So it wasn't all built in one big facade. It was added to over the time. And so there's the old city. And of course, there's always a wall. Keep out the invaders who walk down to my gate to see when it's gonna possibly be open for check-in. Flying Aer Lingus, which I'd never even heard of before this trip. It's an Irish airline, and I'm going to Dublin, so they probably won't even be here for a couple hours. So I'll wait. And got a nice little cafeteria. Oh, and don't bring hand grenades, please. Nice thing is they don't put armrests on every chair, So you can actually lie down. Most airports you can't lie down anywhere. It's interesting that it's printed in English. Spain doesn't seem to be too resistant to adding in English into the language. Nigel says that in France they're actively resistant to adding any kind of American or English words. Like they won't use the word video in the French language. I forget what it is, but it's some much longer word for just a plain old video. The line to get on this plane is unbelievable. This is all for this same flight. Dublin Airport. Cloudy, cold. Now I have to find my hotel. Well, I never thought I'd be in Ireland. What would be the circumstance that I would be in Ireland? Yeah, well, there's always a first time. Okay, so I never thought I'd see wildlife in Dublin. Big wildlife too, right? So Bart scored a nice room in Dublin. Yep. With a view of the airport. Big bed, not a twin bed, not a bunk bed. Hey, a way to control the temperature in the room? No way. A shower that's not one foot by 1 foot? No way. So, good night from Dublin. Another beautiful day on the Odyssey back to America. And it's not done today either. Tomorrow morning I'll be back at my home. So it's a nice day in Dublin, little overcast, a little cool, nice breeze, beautiful. So I might have mentioned this, but they checked most of my baggage through to Seattle. So it's probably here in the airport someplace last night, but all I had was like this little bit on my back and the same clothes I've worn for weeks now. The Dublin airport is jammed. Several thousand people and several miles of walking later, I finally get into my gate. I guess that's my plane. Coming into Seattle, that's the Seattle Space Needle. Welcome to SeaTac Airport. So it's 2:35 my body time in the morning, and it's 5:30 in the afternoon here. Gonna be rough. And I'm still not home. This is a stop. I have to get up at like 4 a.m. in the morning to make a 6 a.m. flight here to go to Los Angeles. So here's my room at the Roadway Inn, SeaTac Airport. Pencil me in for an autopsy around 2 a.m. If I don't come back, you know where to get the body. Welcome to America. Check out the bathroom. You know, it works. Close enough. All right, so it's 3 a.m. my time and 6 o'clock at night here. Gonna try to stay up, maybe go find a beer, try to stay out of trouble. From SeaTac Airport, Seattle, Washington. Good night. Well, good morning. So I survived the hotel. It was actually pretty quiet. No drive-by shooting, no sound of gunfire. So
I walked over to SeaTac Airport, which has got to be one of the most crowded airports in America. A sea of people at 5 a.m. trying to work their way through clearance. Anyway, just a few more hours and it'll be over. What a long, strange trip it's been. So there's San Jacinto. So, back home. I feel like Bilbo Baggins coming back to Bag End. Oof, man, what a trip. What a long 3 days it's been too. Well, I want to thank everybody who gave such nice comments on my channel. Appreciate it. And I'll try to do like a gear review video and stuff like that here in the next week or so. So from Palm Springs, California, good day.